Hi, hello, and I hope everyone is having a great day. And today I am going to discuss about erotic photography and the shame, right? People are going to reveal their shame while they're taking clothes off and while they creating erotic photography, and that is today's topic. Let me discuss about individuals as well as the couples. Erotic photo shoot, okay, for people creates a lot of possibilities, right? Erotic photography provokes my people who are shooting erotic photography, right? What that means, provoke. When people are undressing and performing during erotic scenarios, they feel a variety of emotions, right? And today's topic is people are going to reveal their shame, right, in front of the camera. What that means is that an adult who is feeling ashamed, embarrassed, shy, guilty, feeling negative emotions. And that transformation is happening during erotic photo shoot. Because create erotic photography, hot and sexy pictures, I would need them to get rid of this emotion, of that feeling, right? So revealing the shame, to me, it's a therapeutic experience during erotic photo shoots, right? Normally, when you are an adult, right, healthy adult, no matter what you do, okay, you can't, it's not okay to feel shame and embarrassed. When you're a child, then it's okay, right? When you're an adult, then inside of you, if you are feeling unpleasant and negative emotions during erotic photo shoot, you are working with your body and with your feelings towards changing it, right? Erotic photography for some people is a therapy experience, right? Especially when we talk about shame, right? When I am taking pictures with healthy people, right? They don't experience shame. They're not embarrassed to undress, and they are not embarrassed to show their feelings to each other in front of other people, right? And me, it means me, other people. There are not many people. Sometimes we have one shooter, one photographer. Sometimes we have two photographers, two shooters. Doesn't matter how many people, right? If the couple is healthy or individual is healthy, he is aware or she is aware that this is something what is going to happen, that people are going to undress, that they will expose their body, that they will perform kissing, touching, and making love scenarios, if that's included, right? And they are going to perform it in a certain energy vibration. That is not a guilt, a shame, and embarrassment. Why? Because when I'm creating erotic photography in that vibration, it's not complete. I don't feel okay creating this photography when people are, and this is obvious in their body. When you feel ashamed and embarrassed and taking a picture during that moment, the photographer, if the photographer is in tune, must see it and must feel it too, because it is awkward. Okay, if the person is nervous, he makes you nervous. Yeah, that's simple as that. The energy is contagious, okay? And when people are creating erotic photography at my studio, that's what they're doing. First of all, they're coming to have an amazing experience, okay? Then they will have an erotic adventure, okay? Then they will try the things that they are not going to do anywhere else, okay? So this is all novelty, this is all risky. Okay, yes, because when it's first time, you feel nervous. That's why it feels risky, right? But when you are an adult in a healthy mindset, an adult mind is not worried, is not nervous, like nervous means terrified. You can have a little nerve. Everyone, when you're doing something new or arriving into a new experience, you're a little bit, how to say, nervous. But it's not that it's ill and you could see that people are shaking or people are sweating or people are breaking down during that experience. This is nothing like that, right? So healthy adult usually during erotic photo shoot is excited, okay, looking forward to this, right, and happy to go into creative mode and explore new things, right? That's the healthy attitude. But there are adults who will arrive to erotic photography studio to share their shame, to share their embarrassment, to share their trauma, to bring this illness into the studio, right? And when I see these people, most of the time I've recognized them during the conversation. Even on the emails, I can see people who are traumatized, right? They will write enormous long emails and they will put out all their feelings, the issues that they feeling, and the problems why this is hard for them to do one way or the other. We will discuss taboos and we will discuss the limits, and people are just scared, okay? So when we talk about an adult being free, okay, being strong, being confident, being sexy, it's all positive energy, okay? That's what I want to shoot and that's what I want to create in my studio. But when we come across the shame, okay, come across the fear, the embarrassment, the guilt during the photo shoot, that's the emotion that I am working with. I know, right? I can't just tell that person, no, I don't like you being nervous and embarrassed and still and stiff and frozen during the photo shoot. I would like you to go straight away into the sexy, hot and confident mode. The human body is not able to change so quickly, right? So people need help. That's why they go and see therapy, okay, and speak with psychologists or sexologists or whatever, help they will get. But there is another way, okay, to do it for yourself, right? You can do it for yourself, working with your emotions, okay, at your home, taking picture of yourself, selfies, being naked and just breaking through. Okay, this negativity, what came from, I don't know, you see this feeling when you are a child, when you are born, you are brave, you are strong, you are adventurous, you are creative. When you are, when you are a kid, right? Then the life happens, okay? We have a lot of blocks, restrictions, we have a lot of penalties, we have a lot of experience, and then adults become being paranoid, anxious, extremely terrified over certain things. And what I mean is adult things, nudity, right? Intimacy, sexuality, sensuality, everything what is adults, they are in a distance, holding in a distance. Some people will never consider create an erotic photo shoot because it is too much and it's not fitting in their brain. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see themselves. There are so many adults who cannot even comprehend the information. Why would people take an erotic photo shoot? Why would they want to see themselves being sexy in front of the camera? Why they would want to go through this experience, right? But this is all a creative freedom. And you, as a person, most likely, you see, we do not own many great pictures. We do not go see photographers. And that's an experience to know yourself and to understand yourself. And when you are with the artist, with a creative person in the studio, that artist's job to put you through, what's happening? Light is gone. Okay, no light. The artist's job is to help you to reach that moment when you get rid of this shame. Shame about your body, shame about how you move, shame about where you touch yourself, shame about what your fantasy is, shame about your performance, shame about how you relax. In general, you see, I believe that adults should concentrate on themselves first to understand who they are so that they can attract or have a perfect match for them. Because if they don't know who they are, who are they looking for? That's why there are so many people who are single or who are living in a relationship which is not a higher vibration. And what that means, higher vibration? We all go down to the energy, okay? When the energy is high, there is a mood, yeah? There is a sexuality there, there is a game, there is an interest. It's a different life than you are living in a negative emotion. So you can observe for yourself how you feel. Let's say you are going to have an erotic photo shoot, okay? Let's say you are going to have an erotic photo shoot. And tell to yourself, I am going to have an erotic photo shoot. And feel what kind of the vibration you will sense inside. There will be a voice will saying, I will never do this. No, or whatever, no. Straight away, no. You would feel negative vibration. There are people who are arriving to a studio to break this cycle, to create a challenge for themselves. Okay, there are a lot of men doing it actually for a challenge. Once in a lifetime, they want to see themselves. So that's not necessarily only men going for the challenge. Couples doing it. Okay, couples doing it. Couples, I would say mature couples who really long time together, but there are young couples who just married and they would like to experiment and explore. Explore their body, explore the connection, explore the depth of the relationship, explore their sexuality levels, explore their creativity in the bedroom, right? And understand how they are with each other. And when there is someone there from the side taking picture during that amazing emotional sexual vibration, when they lose themselves, why people would need to create erotic photography or videos? Because in the reality, when you are in that energy, in that mode, imagine you're making love. You should be eyes closed and on the another planet. You can't be focusing and filming because that's not a true vibration during the make love scenes, right? So sometimes people cannot just disconnect from their body and go into the living that feeling mode, okay? So that's very important in my studio, that every person who will arrive would get rid of a negative emotion. That's the first thing. Because it is not possible to create sexy pictures when they feel shy or ashamed, okay? And when they feel nervous, right? It's a negative energy in their body. Sexuality, it's positive energy. It's a confidence. It's a different vibration, right? We are attracted to people who are confident, who are in their zone, who are in their element, okay? And that is sexy for us, okay? Porn, the big industry of porn, represented a nudity and how to say, intercourse to reveal that sexiness, right? Different kind of erotic fantasies went into porn. But in reality, to show sexual energy, you do not have to undress. You understand? You can make love scene the hottest and the sexiest if you are embarrassed couple with the clothes on, okay? No, seriously, you can create an erotic photo shoot, the hot and sexy, with being dressed. You don't have to undress. But undressing is for a human mind, mental state is another level. It's a very brave and challenging experience. And during that time, when people undressing, of course, they are thinking about how they look, how they perform, how they feel. And believe me, there is a lot of negative vibration going through that moment. through that mind, okay? Because when we age, it is already a problem. Aging is already a problem, right? You can't accept the aging completely, right? That's why we have the industries, beauty industries, who are trying to fight aging, to prolong the way you look younger and so on, right? But it's inevitable. It's inevitable. So aging is another thing what I get across during erotic photo shoots. You see, no matter what is your size and no matter how old you are sexy or you are not sexy. So sexy is when I want you, and not sexy when I don't want you, no matter how old you are and in which shape you are. So that is very important to understand for a human mind. Erotic photography, it's based on sexuality, on the energy. You can be dressed or you can be naked, right? To perform naked, it's another level. Because you see, when you are absolutely free, yes, and you think that the life is the game, and you're ruling that game, and you don't care, right? That's when you totally live, and that's when you can create, and that's when you can change things for yourself. When you are in the vibration, when you're nervous, scared, and ashamed and shy, you are stuck. Stuck. Because you need balls to do something around here, around your life. You need to be confident. Confident in the actions, confident in the decisions, and even confident in the results you are going to get. You see? So erotic photo shoot is a transformation from the negative vibration into a positive vibration. From the moment when you are unsure, you know, when you are, not photogenic, when you think this is going to be very hard for you, when you think that I'm not going to make it, you see, into the phase where you're going to smash it and you don't care. You don't care how you look. You don't care, you know, what you're doing. As long as it's natural, it comes from your heart, it comes from your creative intuition, right? That's what we're developing. We're developing a totally different base for you to go forward. And when people create erotic photo shoot, they get those pictures. You know, the pictures which they look awkward, okay, when they do not feel their body, when they feel disconnected, when they are standing on the stage and the head is doing one thing and the face is doing another thing and the body is doing absolutely opposite thing. They would see themselves in this balance. That's the key of the erotic photo shoot, to give you an X-ray, a complete analytic at what stage you are at, okay? I'm not even talking about age now, okay? I'm talking about your state, emotional state. What do you feel, okay? What kind of a negative energy goes through, so that you need to be aware, okay? What do you think? What is worrying, okay? Why are you worried? What's happening? Why, okay? You will analyze your body, your mind state, your health in terms of physical health and in terms of mental health and in terms of emotional health. That's going to be the full display of analysis. And you know what I like about erotic photography? Because your photographer doesn't know how you feel, okay? It doesn't. It can sense the moment, because the body, you see, it reflects, okay? It reflects your emotions. The moment you stopped, okay, the moment you're frozen, the moment your face, you know, all stiff, you know, like that, yeah, the moment your hands are not relaxed, the moment, it's obvious, okay? When you start shooting erotic photography, it is obvious that you are not in your zone and in your element. Photographer's job is to lead you, to take you on a journey from the point 1, okay, from the point A, to the point Z, I don't know, right? But I'm just saying, it's an incremental journey when you slowly loosen up, when you understand, when you let go, when you overcome, okay? And that's all happening in one day. It's a photo shoot, not a year. It's a photo shoot for 2 hours. That's what happens in the body when it's getting transformed. And that's normal to be worried and nervous to come for the first time experience. It is not normal. But you see, these nerves in adult head can be processed in 10-15 minutes time, right? There are adults who stuck in this worry for hours. And I mean for hours. Okay, there is a simple photo shoot, erotic photo shoot for a couple, and you could see that the lady is just paranoid, nervous. She can't create normal pictures. There were times when I had to stay the half day just to put that lady from the confused, scared, nervous into a hot and sexy chick. Relax, you know? Relax. You don't have to prove anything, okay? You are not that person on Pinterest, okay? You don't have to nail that pose which that model, sexy model created. I mean, seriously, erotic photo shoot is about that person who arrived to the studio and his state, emotional state. So the best and the hottest adult pictures of you as an adult is when you relax and confident and sexy. That's all that matters, because sexy is attractive and sexy is the energy that adults understand, right? Sexuality is that marker when we accept or we repel people, okay? We like it, we fancy, we're not fancy. Simple as that. But people are blocking the sexual energy because of the many reasons. First of all, society, beliefs, okay, church. There is so many reasons why our sexuality has been blocked. Parents, whatever, school, doesn't matter. Adults grow up and they are shy, okay, and they are scared to show themselves. They're scared to present themselves. They are scared to look into themselves to understand who they are. The moment erotic fantasies arise or whatever, they hold it inside, they hide it. And especially, you see, with the erotic fantasies, they can be the strangest and the wildest and the crazy thing that can come to your head. Because erotica, it's a sexual energy that repairs your mental state. That repairs and heals you. That's what erotica is. And when you see erotic photography, you get inspired and stimulated. You can change the way you approach intimate things by looking at it and by learning. Because when I create erotic photography, I create with people who genuinely sexy and hot, okay, who love each other for real, not for money, okay, and not for fame. When couple comes to my studio, they actually connected. They actually have the chemistry for real. They have an energy. They are brave, they are strong, they are unit together, they want to experiment, push the boundaries, push the limits and grow, to understand who they are, what they can do, how they look like. Because from that point, there is only the way up. When people come to my studio, okay, they will create the content, and I always call it the code. Okay, because this is all data and we can measure it. We can measure the energy, we can measure electricity, we can measure magnetic field. The studio changes. When I have people who are really in love and create erotic love scenarios, I have a thick air. I am hot, I am sweating in my studio, seriously, right? And when people don't feel anything but just doing it, nothing happens. So I am in that pot boiling with them and seeing their energy, how it escalates. Okay, but straight away I can see when people arriving to the studio. you can feel them. Okay, and sometimes couples arrive disconnected and they are looking for that connection. They're looking for something to fix them, for something that they can build on again, a new relationship. And when I talk about relationship, I realize that every relationship, has levels, right? And sometimes you run one circle, I don't know, 1 year or 3 years, and you stuck. It means that, doesn't mean that you need to disconnect and leave, right? It means that there is another level for you prepared. You just need to climb up and have a totally different experience, relationship, and vibration with each other. Okay, and that's what I've noticed with the couples during erotic photo shoots. Some people arrive absolutely hot and sexy with each other, okay, and it's easy to work with them. And some people, I need to put a charger in another phone because it will die. Okay, and some people need help and stimulation. So for couples, right, they can go and see psychologist, okay? But at the psychologist therapy session, you will be talking about it. You would not take action, okay? Changes happen when you take action. You actually do something, change and feel, right? That's how the real change happens, and that's why couple psychologist is not that effective, because we have a lot of separations, right? We do have a lot of people separated, right? Okay, so this phone will die because I have a very small battery, but this one is okay, right? So today's topic was about shame, and it's a very big topic because that's exactly what majority of individuals and couples will think about and feel when they arrive to an adult creative studio to make erotic photo shoots. Okay, different people have a different level of negative emotions inside of them and different strength. Okay, with some people it is very easy to get rid of the shame and embarrassment and shyness, and with some people are not. Okay, depends on depends on people, right? So that's the first thing what I would notice, because without confidence and without feeling sexy, we cannot create 100% artwork, right? You can be embarrassed and naked, and some photographer will take a picture of you, and that would be fine. That is not what I do in my studio, because there is no point. He would look at that picture and he would see himself embarrassed in that picture. The information and the code in that picture will be that person is in pain. Okay, when couple, for example, feel awkward and nervous and creating erotic scenarios, that's exactly what they will see in that images or in those videos, that they are absolutely nervous together and they are embarrassed and shy. So the first step what I do at erotic photography studio, the first experience is testing and understanding, realizing what level of individual arrived to the studio and how damaged the personality is. Because negative emotion damages our mental state and in general our health, right? But our brain designed this way that it loves to be in pain, right? It loves to stay in that nervousness or anxiety or shame mode. It loves. That's what our brain does. Okay, it puts us there. But erotic photography at my studio is only about positive vibration. Okay, so people who are arriving at my studio who are nervous and who are scared, I can tell you they are going to reveal this in first 10-15 minutes anyway. Okay, because it will come out of that system, right? They will start saying that they do not like themselves, that there is something wrong with them, that there is something, wrong with their body parts or intimate parts, or they will start telling other things, okay? many reasons are behind it. I'm not gonna go there, okay? But the fact is that there are adults who are controlled with those negative emotions, and they are going through their life, and what they desire is to get rid of that, okay? To get rid of that feeling. That's what they want, total freedom, to let go, okay? Not to worry. Not to worry, not to think, just to be themselves, who they truly are, okay? Because that shame, okay, or that embarrassment or that guilt came from somewhere. We know that energy, okay, and emotions are the feelings that are contagious. We meet people with the great attitude, okay, with the great energy, and we will have a great day because it's contagious, right? Then you can meet someone who with the really bad mood, and he is going to share that negative bad mood with you, say certain things, and your mood will change, okay, automatically. So that's what I'm talking about, energy. That's how I can impact, knowing this information, right? I can impact and I can direct the person in a certain direction, depending, give a vector towards a confident and a sexy mind and body, okay? Because adults vibrate in a healthy state, and when you are healthy, okay, nothing is wrong with you. When you are healthy, you are hot, confident, sexy, and strong. That's when you are healthy. When you think that there is something wrong with you, okay, right, then your body thinks you are ill. Yeah, your body and your mind thinks that you are ill, especially when it talks about sexuality. Very often your body, for example, you put on a little bit weight and you think that you are not sexy and you are not approaching anyone. You're thinking, why do I don't want to mate, or why do I don't want to, go and find someone, why I'm not going to the date? Because your mental state, in your mental state, you think that there is something wrong with you, and your reproduction system is shut down, okay? So we can change it. It's very easy to transform when you know it, right? I'm not saying it's straightforward. It takes time and it takes work, and like I say, depending on the depth. Sometimes I can change people from the scared and nervous situation in 1 hour, into hot and sexy and, confident personality, who they actually truly are, because adults have to vibrate this energy, yeah? When you are in a negative vibration, scared and nervous, you are in a child vibration. And very often adults jump there, okay? And in the child vibration, children are scared. What if the parents would leave? What if, something happened, the world will end, or, they will stay homeless, someone will forget. Children are scared. When adults are vibrating in this energy, they become children. What happens with children in general? When adults are in a child's energy, what happens? Children don't have money, okay? Not very little, right? Children depend on someone, okay? Children do not have a relationship, do not have intimacy, okay? So that's what happens with the adult who is in a negative vibration. He's living in the child's energy, right? So let me just quickly finish here because it will switch off. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'm gonna close this because my phone is dying. Just a second. Okay, and I'm doing the break now. Thank you. I'm doing a break, and I'm gonna say hi, hello to everyone quickly, and I'm gonna answer a few questions. And you can write me a question about erotic photo shoots. Today I'm discussing what happens when adults reveal their shame. Okay, what happens when adults feel ashamed during erotic photo shoot? Okay, and you know that's what happens most of the time. Most of the time, okay? The less shame they feel when they are as a couple. Okay, it's more controllable because they support each other. Okay, so the less of the negative energy comes from a couple. But individuals are very weak. Okay, there are strong individuals, okay, when they arrive and you can feel that he is confident, he wants to create, or she, and so on. But majority individuals who arrive, they are in the therapy mode, okay, looking to change, looking to transform themselves, looking to go into a confident zone, okay, and without removing, okay, this negative vibe inside of you, you cannot be confident and sexy. Okay, and without confidence we actually cannot even go forward. Okay, if I would not have confidence, I would not speaking right now live. Okay, because I will be shy and nervous and scared. I would not be talking right now. I would be in a child's vibration, embarrassed to even say about, oh, I'm shooting erotica, or I'm shooting nudity, or I'm shooting explicit content, or I'm shooting make love scenarios. I'm not embarrassed. Because I'm an adult, I'm not supposed to be in this vibration to start with. You know? Okay, today you can ask me about erotica, erotic photo shoot, erotic videos for individuals and couples, and we're discussing emotions. And now I'm going through messages. Thank you so much for writing. Okay, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi. Good morning, hello. Okay, hi, hello, hi, hello. Are you Ukrainian? No. Does everyone Ukrainian who's on live? Okay. Okay, yes, that's my lips. Every time when I go live, people notice this. Okay, thank you so much. When I was growing up, I was thinking this is a great feature that I have. So that, yes. Does anyone want to be friends with you should be looking friends, okay, somewhere else. This is my life, and we discuss here erotic photography, okay, and erotic photo shoots. Okay, this is not the place. Okay, have you ever joined? That's the most popular question. Okay, that's the most popular question. The question which arises only in a male auditorium. Okay, have I ever joined erotic photo shoot? There are, I would say, no woman would think this way. Okay, because we have a different brain. Okay, when I created this business, I had nothing like that in mind. Okay, and I'm working in adult business for 20 years now. Okay, not one, not two, from 2005. Okay, that is why I'm discussing here and talking about my experience. Okay, so I have been asked maybe billion times. Okay, I have been approached by men only, okay, and couples also, okay, couples also, and I always declined. I believe this is unprofessional. Okay, because I've started in 2005, porn industry, which created by men, okay, had erotic fantasies. Okay, and erotic fantasy, comes from erotic fantasy. Erotic fantasy is created in the adult's head by alter egos. Okay, when we grow up, we have an ego which are developing, right? When we are little, right, we're developing an ego. But when we're growing up, we have alter egos kick in. That is addiction, that is erotic fantasies. Okay, that is a behavior that people do not recognize or do not understand about themselves, right? That is all come from alter egos. Right, alter egos. So people, I would say this way. Okay, when I came from medical profession, right, and you think that erotic photography is maybe an adult profession, right? There are in medical field we have gynecologists, okay, we have urologists, okay, we have proctologists, okay, we have a range of specialists who are literally dealing with the intimate areas, in the intimate parts. But I don't think that you would ever ask your professional, for example, you're doing your bum check, right? You're doing your bum check. Would you ask your doctor to check his bum? No. Okay? You would just kindly, go for checkup and do the service, right? But with erotic photographers, especially when they see the woman, okay, they actually assume that it's okay, And that is, again, it's the child's mind. Okay, and I told you what happens with the child's energy. So child's energy can live in an adult's man, head. Child's energy in your body. What happens when your child's energy is vibrating in your body? They do not have a relationship, they do not have a great sex, and they do not have a business or money. Okay, that's how you can establish this. Okay, and of course they feel a range of negative emotions: shyness, embarrassment, awkwardness, guilt, everything. Okay, everything. Okay, that's what happens. Because you see, when there is a mature mind, right, mature mind would not have this question arise in their head, right? So this is nothing, I don't want to insult you in any way. I'm just giving you a notice so that you can start looking at yourself and being aware. That's nothing wrong to be in the child's vibration, because that's how we evolve. We come from the child's energy into mature energy, adult's energy, right? And that transition happens automatically. We're not choosing. Some people start transitioning at 11, some young, right? Young people I'm talking about. Some start later, depending, and some never finish. You see? You would see adults in the child's vibration. So that's norm, okay? But this is a part of our evolution. That's how we're supposed to be and supposed to feel. I am just, why I am making those live. You see, when you look at adults who are enjoying their intimacy, who are enjoying their couple's life, who are enjoying their relationship, the things that they do together, you could see in their eyes they are, they are on the higher vibration. That is why they are tucked into the adult's energy fully. Okay, that's they feel totally different vibration. Their, intimacy levels are higher when they're doing it. Yeah, when you book a photo shoot with, for example, for work, right, for adult work, and create an adult video at my studio, your energy level, okay, will be at a certain vibration. It never reaches that high when the couple who are married or in a connection, in a partnership, who has a desire, a passion for each other. It's a different topic, just different, okay? So no, I do not join my individuals or my couples during erotic photo shoot, because you see, I also take it from a different perspective. Having sexual connection, it's a bond, okay, that you create with people. I have a certain powers about recognize the people and read the people. I'm not allowing myself to share my energy, just to everyone. Because when I'm not gonna concentrate my energy, I would not be able to create the art that I do at the moment. I have to preserve it, right? So that's how it goes about me. Do you got hot and bothered while you are photographing them? I do when it's for corn. Okay, honestly, I can tell you I get bored. When I'm shooting models who do not have a connection, when they're doing it, filming it, even if they're doing it hardcore and they putting on the show, okay, I get bored after 2 hours, so I never book longer sessions for this type of clients, more than 2 hours bookings, never. Because the last time when I had a half a day shoot, 4 hours shooting this, I couldn't, It was just hard, you know, so I don't. And I decided that this type of people will be occasionally coming to my studio, but will be less and less, because I prefer to be around different energy, real energy, that gives you, you see, erotica, it's aliveness. When you stop feeling hot and sexy, you stop being alive and you're getting old. Why would I work if I can choose? Okay, why would I work with the dead energy, fake energy created just, you know, for stimulus, but doesn't have a satisfaction on the deeper level? Why? So I always would prioritize work with people who are doing it for their own exploration, their own understanding, their own experience, their own growth and development. That's a totally different energy. I never get bored, never. And every person has different information. We create totally different shoots every time. Okay, so that's for you. I would say to recognize. If you watch a lot of porn, you would understand what I'm saying. You would go get a very quick turn on. You would not watch it long time because it's not informative enough. Okay, love your accent. Thank you so much. Good morning. How? Good morning, love. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Hello, beautiful. Has a couple ever asked you to join? Of course. Of course. There are many couples. Okay, there are couples. I could tell you how they are. There are couples, okay, who think that they are so ashamed and embarrassed that they would feel better if the photographer would be naked. That's their explanation. Okay, so they would feel better and it's equal, right? But then again, I'm telling you, when I'm looking this from the perspective of the service and the business, right? And I came from a medical, right, background. So I would think about that, doctor who is doing an intimate checkup for you, he would never or she would never undress that the lady or the guy would be comfortable to show his willy. They will never undress, okay? So this is something what it's natural for me, right? If I would have background of the escort, okay, then would be different. I don't know prostitutes who are doing this job, creating erotic photography and doing, that kind of job. I don't know, right? But I know models who become photographers, okay, something like that. So, there is another request from the couple. There was couples who think that they would get turned on when I am turned on. Okay, so when couple is indicating that, oh, we would like to create an erotic photo shoot, but we would like you to be, hot and sexy with us, that we would like you to be turned on and on the same page. When you are a couple in the relationship, the couple means two people, okay? They don't need a third person to be turned on and stimulate them, okay? So it's clearly there is a issue between those two people, right? There is not the right connection. They need the third one straight away, okay? That's how it looks like. So I would offer them to hire a model for the stimulation, okay? But how would I reply to them is this way, okay? When I am turned on, and that's true, my eyes are closed, okay? When you are genuinely experiencing sexual energy inside of you, okay, you are eyes closed. How can I create photography and video with my eyes closed? If they want this type of photo shoot, I can do. I'm not gonna see anything. You understand? This is just, bonkers. I could say yes, and no. I say no because this is the wrong energy. Couple do not know who they are. Okay, in the reality, when couple is asking for someone else and trying to fit me in, I will decline. I don't want to, you see, this is like couple who joined together. You know, there are some children who will invite children and they then form a couple. Okay, so two children who are adults married, and they do not understand what to do with the relationship, where to go from, and then they're looking for the third one to stimulate them, to somehow motivate them. Yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, and that's it. So there are two options, right, for couples. Are you married? I am a widow. I think you are very beautiful and very cute and gorgeous. Thank you so much. If you think this way, I'm trying to hook up with you because I am interested. I am based in London. Okay. Okay, you have some beautiful eyes. Thank you. Are you Spanish? No, I'm not. Okay, I love your accent. I take you out for dinner. Or do you think sex sells, so it's a great product? Well, let's go back to a very, very distant past. Yes? Okay, we know, right, what that is. It was a function, okay, which relates to adults only. So when you become an adult, automatically your alter egos kicked in and you will be exploring certain topics depending on your personality, right? Some is vanilla, some is a fetish BDSM, some is a hardcore, some is a dominant, some is a switch. You know, it's a different kind of, you know, wild situations out there, right? But I believe that adult being confused. Okay, so there are functions what adult will do. They sleep, they eat, they go to loo, okay, and they love. They love. Okay, so what happens is that we eat, sleep, and work, and we forget to love. Okay, and then we create a lot of yogas, a lot of gym stuff, a lot of things, so to avoid this love, because love requires a lot of exercise. Your heart is exercising, your lungs is exercising, your body is exercising, your whole, you know, everything is exercising when you are properly in connection, right? So every day you eat, every day you go to the toilet, every day you should love. When you have this balance, you will not get ill, because your partner is your medicine. And we know what it does. Intimacy removes the stress of your body, anxiety, any kind of pressure. It normalizing your hormones, your mental state. Okay, it makes sure that your lymphatic system is in order. It makes sure many things. Okay, many things, right? Have you seen a facial yoga? Okay, facial yoga is completely showing, okay, the blowjob situation. Okay, how you should be doing. This is like, you know, what humans are going to think next. It's very straightforward. Okay, we are placed in the you know, on this planet and disconnected, right? So we've been taught how to be good slaves, how to be good servants, but we cannot create relationship. We cannot attract people who have to be with us. So majority of us stay lonely and find, how to say, explanation why. Okay, explanation why, right? I believe that my artwork would stimulate people and encourage, motivate them, okay, to fix this. Okay, because like I say, it's one part of our life that we are missing out on. Okay, so we know the pharma industry, okay, we know the oil industry, we know the corn industry, right? It created to entertain you and replace this so that you would stay at home and watch those channels and do nothing, okay? You think that you are getting that satisfaction, but in reality, you are alone, imagining different kind of things, okay? Getting into an ecstasy, and no one is touching you. You are by yourself. So you are creating intimacy, but in imaginative world, but there's no one around. Okay, and soon you will have AI girls joining you. You know? So I believe that art will change something, okay, to create this art with the right information, right coding. Like I said, there is a big difference when you are shooting adult content and when you're shooting real people in a relationship. The energy is different, trust me. You know, energy is different. That means that the coding is different of that artwork that I create, okay? Because it's true. Soon, why I'm creating these archives, and I'm soon, open the galleries to watch, okay? For people to reprogram their brain, so they have to see it, because what they're looking at all the time is the corn channels and staying alone, not in a relationship, but single. The more corn they watch, the more they play with themselves, being alone. There is no one there, okay? So that is my goal, okay? To reprogram this understanding why we need intimacy. Not just to make babies, to be healthy, to stay longer alive, and to live in a higher vibration. That's why. So if does sex sells? The answer is yes. 80% of internet content is related to adult content. 80% on internet. Okay, I've read this on Google and somewhere, and I was like shocked. Okay, so that's what's happening. So now at the moment, there are some kind of people who are creating entertainment for you. It's like a Facebook, so that you can stay, and hang there, right? Stay and hang there, but not to live your life, not to build your higher frequency, your vibration, not to experience this to your core when you are actually with someone, Just have this, visual stimulation through the distance, and imagine in your head that something is going on, but nothing happened in the reality. Okay? So I am just want to say this, this is, for me, it's very important. Okay? So this topic always sells. Why? Because we've been, it's a taboo for us. It's something what is not allowed. It's something what is prohibited. It's something what is, you get punished for this, right, in your head. So there are a lot of negative things going around us, but in the reality, what intimacy is, it is love. It is relationship. It is connection. You can't have, deep higher vibration without physical, emotional intimacy. And that's what you do with your partner. You clear all the systems. You see, you practice this every day and live a healthy life. Or there is another way. They decided that you will watch different kind of fantasies, corn, and you will not do nothing because you are so scared and you're so ashamed to do anything, to approach this idea, to go forward. So when you're scared and ashamed, this feeling goes into other parts of your life. When you are scared to open your business, or when you are scared, to do a renovation of your house, or whatever, it's so complicated and scary, no matter. So this intimate product will stay forever. What I want this to be is in a different frequency, and in a different vibration. It has to be real, because what we're having now is a substitutes, and where substitutes lead us to be obese, because no one is doing real action, no one is burning the calories, okay? Everyone is just sitting, resting on the tele, on the phone, and playing with themselves, right? Gaining fat, or going to the gym and so on, right? And never, cheating themselves, okay? Instead of working out with the woman for 2, 3, 5 hours all night, okay? When you do all night, you don't want to gym at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, trust me, okay? And when you sleep and you didn't do anything for days, then of course you want to wake up in the morning and go to the gym. It's as simple as that, okay? So they give you gym, they give you corn, they give you everything. Just stay at home. Just stay at home. Yeah. Don't move. Don't do anything. And you know what? Your brain will tell you thank you, because that's how the brain preserves you, so that you would not burn too much calories. Okay, so it's all working out. Okay, what is your nationality? My nationality is, I am from Lithuania. So you're going to ignore me. Okay, I'm not here to... Are you a German? Good morning. Okay, Tony inquiring. Minds wanna know. Minds wanna know. I am just on live now, and if your mind wanna know, you need to ask me a question. Okay, what kind of photographer are we talking about? Erotic photo shoots. I've did all kind of sort of photography, okay, and I am best at erotic photo shoots. I'm in adult business for 20 years, and I watch how people undress, okay, how people undress, how people create nudity, how people make explicit scenes, and how people make love in my studio, okay. So that's what I record, erotic photo shoot, erotic photography. And then now I'm discussing how people scared and ashamed while they're doing this, okay? Because that's the energy that I feel and I want to talk about. Julia, we can get to that after you answer the question. It happens to me very often that this feeds, the way it goes, it doesn't show all the questions. Like it's 61 new messages now. I can see it on the screen, but when I scroll down, I do not see all those messages. That's how, TikTok shows for me. I'm sorry, yeah? A mixed child is your future. A mixed child is your future. What that means, a mixed child is your future. Don't know, Julia. Are you reading a script? No. A mixed child again. Okay, and keep my eyes open. Good. Where are you from originally? I just replied Lithuania. Okay, again, how can I boost my drive? Remove your negative emotions. Just remove negative and it will start kicking up. How you know what kind of a negative emotions are there? Undress in front of the camera and start performing. Start touching yourself. If that's not gonna kick in and you would not feel any information, try introduce someone. The moment you introduce someone who will be watching you, you will feel all the negative information that sits inside of you. Just because you're taking an action, not thinking about it, okay, not planning, okay, but actually doing it. And it will kick in straight away, depending on the person who is there, and then take a picture of that. That's gonna be the coding and information. When you are going back to the things that you've already preserved, it means that you've taken a video or taking imagery of yourself, you will be able to look at that picture, which you created yesterday, the week ago, the month ago, doesn't matter. If that picture has a coding information, you will remember what you was thinking when you was creating this image, or what kind of a thought came up. Okay, you able to. That's how I code my images with information, and even people don't know it. It's still an energy that others can access. It's an energy resource. That is why my topic always is erotic photography or sexuality is your energy resource, right? Check your energy first by yourself. Okay, I am confident that Russia will be victorious. This topic is about erotic photo shoots, okay? And I'm discussing about photography, videos, and erotic fantasies, okay? I'm apolitical. I don't care. You see, I don't care. I can tell you straight away that I came from Lithuania, the place where I did not know that I would be erotic photographer, and if I would be there, I probably out of job, okay, and I would get a lot of maybe negative comments, right? When I'm in London, the London is a cosmopolitan city. Everyone is relaxed, okay, about what you do. You do erotica, great, amazing, you know. In Lithuania, if I would say I'm an erotic photographer, they would say, shame on you, what are you doing? It's the sin, it's really bad, and so on, okay? So and I left many years ago. Today it's kind of will be different if I would go back to my country and start creating and doing things what I love and do. But like I say, olden days, everyone would judge you. Seriously, judge you and shame you. So that's why I left. You know, I didn't even know that I am going to be an erotic photographer. I changed my profession here in London, okay? But initially I arrived to work in a hospital. Lip filler too much, okay? There are no lip fillers in my lips, okay? I was born this way. What should I ask to this person? What should I add to this person? What should I say? Shall I comment? Okay, shall I comment? Okay, because you see people now confused, right? Because everyone is doing lip fillers, so they think that everyone, you know, that people cannot have the normal lips anymore, okay? No. Okay, am I married? No, my husband died. Good morning. Okay, Julia, you are so gorgeous. I love everything I see. Good, thank you. Okay. I will be showing up, okay, live, more or less, if I want to discuss a certain topic, right? Certain topic. But most of the time I am off, you know, off the grid. Okay, wow, you look amazing, beautiful, I think, okay, in love, sweet dreams, remember you can't lie. Sweet dreams, remember you can't lie. I don't lie. You see, lying is another thing. It's a negative emotion, okay? Lying is a negative emotion. What I want to tell to you about lying is this. If you think that you are lying to your wife, you must know that life is a balance. There is something what she is lying to you about, okay? So don't be careful, seriously, because life will balance it out. Men think that they can cheat, do whatever they want, and everything will be fine. No, the life will sort this out and balance the things out. That's how the universe is made, okay? So when you are lying, she will be lying to you about other stuff, believe me. Okay, so when I come on live, I'm absolutely on authentic energy and I speak what I think, right? So when you talk freely, you have no time to lie, unless there are people who are doing it, you know. But you need to remember then what you lied about. This is another thing, okay? And I don't have a good memory, so it's better not to lie. Okay, why do you Jews always feel guilty? Why Jews feel guilty? No, guilt, like I said, guilt is a negative emotion that was coded, right, when you were a child. The parents, if you have parents, they would create this feeling and you would feel this way. Okay? You wasn't born with the guilt, you wasn't born with the shame, you wasn't born with every, any kind of negative emotion. When you arrived, then they educated you, okay? And then you have all of this bouquet of negative things that as an adult will be your job to get rid of if you want to have a great life for yourself, right? And that's your job, to clean your system of that trash that been placed inside of you. Because when you was born, you was beautiful, you was perfect, okay? You wasn't fat, you wasn't ugly, you was pretty. Where you was a child thinking, I'm not photogenic. Never, never. You was a greatest discoverer, you was achiever, you was, creative person, and the sky was the limit, right? When people grow up, they get blocked and suppressed, okay? And suppressed. So it's not about Jews only, okay? Why Jews? Right? Someone has an issue with the Jews. I don't have an issue with anyone. There is an adult energy and there is a child energy. When child energy vibrates in an adult body, okay, adult person doesn't live his own life. It's just simple as that. The time goes, okay, but he doesn't live, it doesn't go to these places where the adult should go, to the greatest intimacy, okay, to greatest adventures with your partner, okay, with the trust, passion, desire, and great money. Guess what? Sexuality or a sexual energy is responsible for your financial state, And people who are happy, in general, they are okay financially. They are okay, And people who are in the child vibration struggling. Because children are not supposed to have money. Simple as that. So the life is fair. And if you do not have money and you think that it is unfair, believe me, it is fair. The moment you change your vibration and work on yourself, things will change for you instantly. Things will change for you instantly. So guilt is another thing, is another negative vibration which will be transformed at my studio into a confident, hot and sexy personality. Sending all the bad vibes. Do you know you will get everything back what you send? Another thing what people don't know. They think they will send the back things and nothing will be back. No. Everything will be back to you. And you know what is the scariest part? Universe will multiply it for 100 times and then will return to you. That's the magic about the universe. Okay, if you want to punish someone or think something, just wait, it will come. You are gorgeous, thank you, send me a kiss. Okay, you look like a girl from the movie King Kong. Okay, do you do photo shoots and filming? You are asking a photographer and videographer. That is my job, and I do photography and I do videos. Yes, that is correct. Okay, and I create erotica. I've done a lot of projects, different gigs, believe me. I wasn't shooting stars, okay, that's the only thing I wasn't shooting, right? But I was even shooting sports, and men are here, I love ice hockey, okay? So I shot a lot of even ice hockey games, right? Such a beautiful lips, thank you, I am in love. Hi, where do you have a studio? My studio is in West London. Okay, it's in West London and it's a private location and it's a not walk-in studio, by appointments only. Okay, GM, where are you from? I've already answered, I'm from Lithuania. London, wow. Yes, London, wow, right on. Okay, I'm finishing for 45 messages. I read a script from the Bible each morning. You do whatever, you feel. Every person has a totally different coding. It's very unique. You have your own vibration. If it helps you, you do it. Okay? You do it. You don't have to read the Bible to believe. Trust me. Okay? If you have it in here, you have it. You don't need to verify. But if you feel this way better, everyone is doing. I am allowing. You see, when I am in the studio shooting and there are adults who are embarrassed and ashamed and they have a lot of erotic fantasies to create to get out of this system, because these alter egos they are pushing, it's just obsessive. Okay, why we have fetishes, why we have kinks? Because alter egos, these are demons who obsess you. Why we have things like addictions? Even there is different kind of addictions. That's what it came from. Okay, just arriving, hope you're well. Are you speaking? What are you speaking about? I am already finalizing my life. I was talking about feeling shame, showing what you are ashamed about and embarrassed about during erotic photo shoots. This is the most popular negative emotion that people are feeling during this experience. When they are arriving to the studio, not everyone is brave. Not everyone is confident. Not everyone has a sexual energy and feels sexy and on point. Okay? Most of the time we're starting from low energy, low emotion. And when I starting, they start talking to me and proving that point. That, oh, I don't like my this, I don't like my body, or I don't like this way, or I'm not this. And there are a lot of negative things that people are thinking about, but trying to create the best version of themselves, which is the hottest and confident you, right? Starting very low. I want to get back to normal and attract organically. Yeah, I understand. Okay, I absolutely understand, because you see, to attract people in your life, you are mirroring, right? If you are not happy with the things what you see around you, the only thing you can change is you, and then things will change around you. So I understand about this. Changing yourself is taking action. It's the fastest way how to change. I know people meditating. I know people going to retreats and doing other things. Okay, when you do something drastical that takes action, it actually being completed and transformed instantly. Okay, so that's the thing. Back to normal. Okay, it's already here. I want to be fulfilled in my own love and body. Yes, I want people feel this way, because when you are fulfilled in your love and in your body, you don't see anyone around. You don't care what's doing what, okay, how others look. You don't want to fix anything for them. You don't want to interfere. You don't want to give any advice. You are focused on yourself and how you grow and what you vibrate and what you think and what you can do. When you are in yourself, okay, this nightmare, this madness in your head, when there are a lot of people living in there, like a hotel, and everyone is telling you what you should do or something, when you are in yourself, they are gone. Okay, people, when they're absolutely happy with themselves, right, they're enjoying their life. They are not on the social media. They're living it. They're having intimacy now somewhere on the beach or somewhere, okay? And exploring their body and exploring their energy and vibration and the world, what it can give to them, okay? Everyone who is on social media, wasting their time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I am 100% on it, okay? So everyone should be looking at them. Now what they're doing, they go on social media and looking who is doing what. They're not focused on themselves. It's just away from this, miles away from this, okay, and get a real reward with life and connection with real love in relationship. Yes, that's what's supposed to happen to everyone, okay, to everyone, and I hope it will happen sooner or later. And I want to heal and fix my uncontrollable lust and desire. I feel sick of being sad and lonely. Okay, there are so many people who are lonely and who are get used to be alone, live alone, and stay lonely, and they justify it with, you know, different kind of things, justifying it. Yes, I understand what you feel, you're feeling. Let's change your vibration and attract people. But you see, when you're what happens is you change your vibration, the universe is giving you, but you do not recognize these people, okay, because they are unknown. So when someone comes to your life, you don't even see it. The hardest thing and the last thing what I can tell about erotic photo shoot is this, is the image distortion. Image distortion is a very serious thing. When people operating with their eyes and seeing a wrong image, not the one they're supposed to. And this happens very often during the photo shoots. When you create a photo shoot and it comes a really hot and sexy personality, right? And when they look at themselves, they disgust of themselves. They see million reasons why not to like them. They find million, you know, imperfections which are not even there, but somehow they feel it. And there are so many conditions, you know, medical condition. For example, let's talk about anorexic people, right? Anorexic people, when they look at their mirror, they think that they're fat. They are seeing that fat. But when you are looking at them, you understand that this is skin and bone, and there is no fat. But you try to fix their eyes, and eyes are never an issue. The image is projected in your brain. That's what the brain signal gives you, okay? So the problem with us is the brain, not what we see or what we hear, because maybe we see and maybe we are with the right person, but the brain distorts the information and you are not recognizing it. That's the problem. That's why I put a lot of time and work in my erotic photography, because this is the huge topic, okay? Image distortion, and in general, distortion, what happens in the brain. I have that problem you described. Good. So how do we fix it? How do we fix it? How do you fix your brain? I'm working on it. I'm working on it, and I know that the programming helps. And you being in that energy with the right coding also helps, because then you start associate and recognize it, okay? When people say, if you want to get, you know, a wealthy life, get rich friends, okay? Because you will stay in their energy, and then you would recognize, and like I say, energy is contagious, okay? So that's why I've created erotic galleries, okay, with my coding, with my artwork, and I believe that these galleries will change brain distortion. That's what I believe, okay? So let's see if that will help, because I am creating this, you see, erotic photo shoot is so pricey that no one, you know, normal person, he can afford, you know, he can afford. I don't want to shoot for cheap. You understand? People are undressing, people are, how to say, sharing their emotions. This is a smell, this is a noise, this is a lot of factors inside there, you know, including sexual energy. So we kind of, you know, very much close with that personality. And usually my photo shoots, you know, they cost accordingly, depending on what we want to create. But majority are not able, never reach that level to afford it. They would not have guts or bravery, and they would not have money. Just simple as that. And I don't want to work with these people, to be fair. I don't, because they are on a very low level of understanding of mental development. Evolution have to happen to them. But I've placed on this planet to change this. And that's why I'm creating these galleries. That's why I'm working for so many years. Okay, so what I believe when I start exhibiting around the world, and I start from a very simple online galleries. At the moment, I'm creating galleries on Telegram. There will be a Telegram private channel. Okay, you can come on my public channel, and then I'm creating galleries, and I will sell memberships. Okay, to be able to access the artwork that I make with ordinary people. So in this way, you not only get stimulated, okay, but you will get the right energy and the right coding. And hopefully it will change the information in your brain, because you have not seen such thing. You've seen the similar things, right? Like I say, we can shoot adults, right? Adult content with two models, it looked the same. But when I'm shooting in the studio, it's not the same by the energy levels. People who do not understand this and do not recognize this, they need to little bit grow up in evolution. So I believe it will lift them up and change their energy field when they go into my zone, right? That's what I think. Okay, exactly what you host. I have, okay, I have guilt and shame and don't feel worthy, and I get scared of real connection. What if I tell you that you can fix this in 2 hours? What if I tell you that you can fix this in 2 hours? Or you can go into therapy for years and years. And that's the question, if that will be resolved. Okay? So that's why I've created this erotic photo shoot, and I will have a course, sexuality transformation course online, for people who want to get rid of this information, not able to travel to London, to pay for tickets, to pay for photo shoots. I will be running this course online for people who feel this way. It will take a little bit longer, but the transformation is always happens in your head, you see? And it will be visible through your eyes. So at the moment you feel yourself this way because of the program. You are a robot. This program is running at the moment in your system. Can you re-record the program? Can you re-edit the way you feel? The answer is yes. You are the robot, you can do it. Okay, there are a lot of systems running, and at the moment you are operating on this energy and on this coding, on this program. It is possible to change it. Okay, you didn't have it when you was a child. Remember, just remember. Go into childhood pictures. I can advise you to do. Maybe you do a phototherapy. Okay. There is a Canadian lady who discovered phototherapy. Okay, and she discovered with a childhood picture. She's working on a traumatic emotional experience while looking at the childhood pictures when they were healthy mentally, right? And then they're trying to find where the error was in at that moment. What I am doing is I am transforming reality right now. Okay, the people, like I say, arriving with this coding of negativity, depending on the depth, okay, of the root of the cause, it takes a different time. Most of the time it takes 2 hours for me to transform people from that state into a healthy, sexual, confident personality, so that people just switch the code and start understanding and seeing themselves in a different way. Okay, the program is constantly running. You see, we are humans, and why I'm saying we are the robots, because tomorrow you will be back into your game and you will start running this program again, and then after tomorrow again. So these programs are running and running. If you're not going to change the program, your next day will be the same, and the day after will be the same, depending on your program what's running. So imagine you're running a healthy program, right? A healthy program, and thinking reprogramming it. Stay on my channel. Stay on my channel. We will discuss this. This is a very common issue. Seriously, this is a very common issue. I believe I can resolve this visually by providing you a totally different information, okay, through the artwork. What the art does, art is made to heal you and to make you feel something, okay? So my phone is dying and I need to finish this because it's been too long now. But I will be back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And like I say, see you next time. It was nice chatting. And the thing is that if you are brave enough, okay, to write this and share your experience in front of other people, you are ready to change. If you still will be hiding and do not confront it and show it up, then the change will delay. But now you are in the process already. You are in my field, okay? And I can change many things, okay? I can tell you. For myself, this morning I was discussing this. You know, I have a new neighbor from Australia and we had a tea, okay? And I told her that past 5 years, I've recovered from the brain tumor and from the broken spine. You know, I was able to fix my spine and grow it back. Okay, and also I was able to shrink my tumor, so I'm feeling great. So the change is what you want to do in your body. Okay, it's very easy to do if you know how. It takes time, yeah, but it's possible. So let's do it, yeah. Let's do it, and see you next time, right? Just stay in tune. Bye.